Hello, this is Louis Lelane, and today I was going to talk to you about these marketing notes reveal why your business has more in common with an escort service than you think it does. And these are full frontal notes that address small business marketing strategies that Dan Kennedy uncovered while he's interviewing, the infamous Mayflower Madam, Sidney Biddle Barrows. Now, most business owners they think that the falsely I should say that the core product or service is the most important thing, but more often than not, it's far from the top of the list. Now, the relationship between the business owner and client is much more important in many cases. Certainly, the benefit to the end user is far more important to them than whatever your product or service is. They don't buy things, they buy feelings. So they don't care how you get them to those feelings. They care what they're getting out of it. And so for a graphic example of this, consider that an escort service would have, young ladies out for hours in an evening, but these escorts are actually ended up only having about 7 minutes of sex. And so here's the kicker. Now, everything else that happened, before those 7 minutes, even after those 7 minutes, it's just as important or more important than the sex. Otherwise, people will just come up and say, "Hey, can I have, I need 8 minutes, and whatever, like a prepaid phone card kind of deal." And so, the key to making all of that possible, though, for people, creating great experiences for customers is you got to know who they are. So in Sidney's business, she mentions that they had detailed cards on all of their clients. So this included how old they were, where they were from, what they did for a living, what type of young lady the guy was looking for, what his particular interests were. For example, golf, sailing, travel. And these cards were pulled out when doing any kind of sales or marketing to that client so that everything had a personalized touch. Also, one thing she talked about, in the interview was that the idea that this stuff, they did that also to where they could brief the woman that they were sending out to him, so that she would know where to venture, what kind of ideas to talk with them about, because people naturally find it easy to talk about passions that they have, more so than talking about generic stuff. And so, knowing your customer is extremely important. Now, she also hammers the importance of image, and it's absolutely crucial in any business. So you have to look the part and consider the impression that you're making with everything you do. So consider this: you pull out, you're going to ink a deal with somebody, and it's a big deal. It's a big consulting project that you're setting up, and you pull out your piece of shit big pen. And maybe you bite the tip of it, so the end's all chomped down, and it's not something the client's ever just going to be able to sit there and describe to you, but it's something they're going to feel immediately, and it creates and leads to a negative impression of you in their head. And they're not going to come out and say that, but it's all about what kind of feelings you create in people with image. And so services, they have packaging just as physical products do. Okay, so in the above instance, you'd want to have the pen that goes with the part. You'd want to invest $50 in a kick-ass pen. So when you put that out, somebody can kind of feel relieved. Okay, yeah, I'm dealing with the pro. And it matches. So it matches your suit, matches, the briefcase, it matches the computer, then whatever else, whatever other accessories you bring with you to the table, and to create this impression with somebody. And so it may not be like a box, like a product comes in, but your presentation and your choreography and all the little details of your service are the packaging. So an example from Sidney's escort business. Now, if you're selling a client on a certain woman being the girl next door kind of look, then she wouldn't have that girl show up with a lot of makeup on in a sleek Versace dress. But if she's selling the image of a model, that you're getting a model, then she would. And so it's all about presenting and wrapping, and you could do that with that same woman. Okay, so it's all about presenting and wrapping the package in a way that allows you to manage and meet the client's expectations. You want them to have, and another thing she pointed out is you want them to have, she wanted her clients to have as good an impression of you as they're leaving as when they first came in. So that means, after the women, had the wrestling match with the guy, the girl is instructed to go into the bathroom and put herself back together so that she looks just as stunning now as when she showed up. And it's all part of packaging and impression you leave somebody with. Now, here's another, subtle yet powerful example. Now, when the girl would show up to the client's door, she was instructed to stand back, from the door when he opened it. And because if you're standing real close, all he gets to see is her face. That's all you have to focus. It's when somebody's close to you, you're not taking a top to bottom, review. You're not doing a top to review of somebody's body. But if they're away, you can see, you can scan real quick. And so, if her, and so if her face wasn't what he was looking for, then instantly he's got this unconscious bad impression. However, she stood back when he opened a door, then he could see the whole package. There would be more for him to appreciate. And if there's voluptuousness in there, then that's all working for you. And the lesson to take from this would be obvious, but if it's not, for a salesperson, it's about choreographing. I'm like losing my tongue here. Choreographing your entrance and your exit from a presentation or a sales meeting. So, and for a chiropractor, it's about choreographing the procedure of bringing a patient, a client, in to see you and presenting the report of findings to them. It's all this process that helps them appreciate it and know that they're dealing with the pro. And so if you want to see this post in its entirety, go ahead and mosey on over to here and see it. And you'll be able to have that, and there's a whole nother part. There's going to be a part 2 of it. So make sure and check it out, and I'll be talking to you later. This is Lewis Lane out. Goodbye.